hear the words I say.
G'day friends, welcome to this concept stamp tutorial. We've got a bit of an Easter spin today, so I've got my little handmade journal from Victory. Thank you, Victory. Still using it, still loving it. I've got these little children's book pages here, and I just picked it out because there was an Easter bunny on it, and then obviously I painted over it, so that was good. I just used some water and gesso just to mute the pages down, so it was almost behind a layer of white. I just wanted something a little bit more clean to work on top of, and because it's old children's book paper, it doesn't receive watercolor so well, and I did want to use watercolor today. So very, very simple. I'm bringing to you my 2019 weird Easter motif this year. It is eggheads, and I'm just running with it. I know so many people had something to say about the chick bunnies from last year, but I'm living for them still, and this year I'm also living for eggheads. So I've just stamped out. I've only used 2 stamps from the concept set. Couldn't get any easier than this tutorial, I swear. I've used the little teardrop, well, the elongated teardrop shape, and the smaller head with the body. Now what I'm doing is just painting over the entire face, and I'm just going to color in their bodies as well. I'm using 2 colors for the 2 different colors, for one for the egg face and then some for the ears and the body. And then I'm going to go back in and color their dresses just a simple green. And I'm using this Hello Spring set from Designs by Rachel Beth. I do know that this set is a lot more neon in person. Neons are really hard to pick up on camera, especially when you start to color correct. And I didn't want to leave the video as dark as it was shot, because it's just kind of unpleasant to look at. But just know that in real life, these colors almost glow. Like, they are luminescent. It's kind of crazy. And I just wanted to go with that set because I rarely pull them out. It's a very intense color palette, but I think it totally works for this, considering they're already so weird. Why not just make them neon? And the whole idea is that they're I wanted to believe that they were the chick bunnies, but I just gave them bodies, but they're not. I really do imagine that there's a full person face under there, but you'll just never see it because there's just egg, and the ears are cracked out the top. Also, this little trick, if you use gesso on your page, even though I hate the texture of it, you can erase things that are water soluble. So I just erased those little ears from the side. I thought that worked quite well. I grabbed a blue pencil, just made it really sharp, and started adding a little squiggly kind of very straight line squiggle. I want to say it's a squiggle, but it's jagged lines in no particular fashion, and some little cracks off the side of that, just around where the ears emerge from the egg. So it looks like they've kind of cracked through at the top, like the egg's breaking, and you might be able to see her face. I don't know, maybe someone could do a spin-off of this. It'd be very Phantom of the Opera, very that. You could just have half the egg cracked around her eye and her face or something. But I'm just adding really, really simple detailing to this. So in the ears and the inner workings of the ears, I've added a leaf shape, a really long leaf shape, and then just some patterning. Some are stripes, some are polka dots. I believe I kept it quite simple for this, just because I wanted to show you how simple the project was. In essence, this is pretty much about all of it for the eggheads. The last thing I'm going to do to really sell the piece is to put a cross just over the middle of that egg. And I do want the ribbons, like kind of how I would draw a choker necklace, I want them to cross right in the center of the egg, because I'm going to put a little bow there, and then I might even put, like you just saw, I might put another one just sliced through the middle of that. And to me, those represent the little nose and the whiskers. It's a little abstract to think that people might just get that from the get-go, but once I saw it, I just thought, oh, yeah, totally makes sense to me. So if it makes sense to me, then I'm gonna do it, but you don't have to if it's not your flow. If this is something that's so not for you, then don't worry about it. Hopefully you're just enjoying the pretty colors on the screen. But yeah, this came from the last, the first Easter journal spread video that I put up this year, where I did all the white tip-ins, and as I was drawing 3 of the eggs that had there was these eggs that I was drawing, I really, really loved it. And when I was taking a photo for it for Instagram, I had one of the tip-ins kind of folded over onto the other page, and I saw the body coming out of one of the heads, and one of the eggs, and I thought, oh, they could just have bodies, and they could be people, and I don't even know why I really thought that. I'm gonna also blame Danielle for this because I think part of it was subconscious in that last year she was talking about Hatchimals, and every time I go to Target now I make it a point to look for Hatchimals and what new products they come out with, because I swear it's like every time I go into Target there's new Hatchimals products or Hatchimals adjacent products, and she was not even really talking about it for any other reason than people were unboxing them on YouTube, and those people had like millions of subscribers, and then we got into this whole conversation about YouTube channels that you just never would believe exist, but actually turn like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of profit, and some of them are kids that do like toy reviews, and the Hatchimals were on there. She saw that, we had a conversation about it, so I'm going to blame Danielle as well that these kind of came to be, because I do believe it was her Hatchimals conversation that, you know, stimulated my weird obsession with finding them at Target. And since I'm always at Target, I feel like it's just always in the back of my brain. So subconsciously, thanks for the idea, Danielle. Anyway, I'm adding pattern onto the eggs because I couldn't just leave them plain. If I were going to do this on watercolor paper, I might suggest that whilst the egg is wet, that you just add some drops of watercolor in there, and it could be a little speckled egg with a really nice little feathering with your watercolor. And obviously to maybe do it before you draw the whisker ribbons on, because I did not, and it was something I knew as soon as I drew the whisker ribbons. I thought, oh, I'm definitely going to want to add patterns to this, and I should have done it first. But I didn't want to redo the whole thing, because sometimes I think, you know, these are the things that you might probably come up against in your little creative playtimes, and it's sometimes it's unrealistic just to start the whole thing again when you could just go over it again with a pencil. You know, if you're going to try it for the first time, maybe put your pattern on first. But if you're already working on something, sometimes I think it's important to show you how to save it, or how to incorporate those ideas, and just you know, do a little bit of backtracking with some of your work, because that's a real reality for me. A lot of the stuff, especially when I'm playing with something for the first time, I don't have it all figured out. I make the mistakes along the way. I see what I can correct and get away with. If I can't get away with it, I'll start again. But you know, a lot of the times I can get away with it. So I was just going to leave that in there for you to see. Probably pattern first, and then whisker ribbons. Otherwise, you're good to go. The rest I'm just adding on some little fun details just to bring it back to spring, and you know, add some more clothes onto them, because I thought they looked a little risque. I was like, this is very not Playboy bunny, so let's not go there. I wanted to add some sleeves and, you know, make their dress a little bit more modest. I don't know why, I just felt like it. It was very evening wear for my bunnies, and I didn't want that. It's also fun to add. I'm using blue pencil, and I should have just mentioned, the only reason I used a blue pencil was because I like the texture of pencil over a watercolor, but also I didn't want to use a black or anything, because it can be really, really harsh to look at, the contrast of a black outline. And you'll notice that as I did all of this, I actually never outlined the whole thing. And this is what I call like a lineless kind of a look. Well, I don't call it that, that just is what it's called. But whenever I refer to lineless coloring or a lineless look, this is what I'm referring to. So you'll see there's no outline around the ears, around the face, around the neck, the body, even the dress I do go and outline with a white pen. But I don't think white stands out as much. So you can, I kind of use the white to reshape everything, because the egg shape kind of got a little lost with some of them, and the neck's got a little big. But yeah, I would encourage you to go lineless with this, and try that if that's something you haven't tried before, because it can be a really effective look. Yeah, otherwise that's it. It was literally that simple. 2 stamps, just the body and the elongated teardrop shape, and yeah, you're pretty good to go. Don't be afraid to experiment with this. This is actually something super simple to draw as well. So if you don't want to stamp it, or you don't have the stamps, or like I say with every video, if you have a different set of stamps that you want to try it with, please, 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 please do that. This is not high art. This is not highbrow art. No one's getting this framed and put in a gallery. These are just fun, simple ideas for you to have a bit of a play with. Get your grandkids out. Get your kids out. Out. Where are they? In a cage? If they're with you, I should have said. If you've got kids with you, or grandkids, or if you're a teacher and you want to do this with your students at school, very, very simple project. And I think it is just what it is, because it's Easter. There doesn't need to be any more reason for it than that. And I might put a few of these popping up in my planner and my Hobonichi 5-year, because I love it. They're just as weird as the chick bunnies were last year, and yeah, maybe that's just gonna be my theme. Weird Easter every year. But yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll leave you with that. Until the next video, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.